Live from the City of Angels. It's Thursday night. In my best Batman voice, you hear Hans Zimmer's F1 score in the background because we are celebrating tonight. MMT is the gold standard, and you know it. Ain't nobody even in the race but MMT because we called it, and guess what's happened? F1 has beaten Superman, and I said it was gonna happen, and guess what? It happened. Let's go to my tweet from way back in late June, 2 months ago. Let's put this out there now in late June. F1 will end up being a bigger worldwide box office hit than Superman. And you all said, "Oh, that's insanity, Weber. You don't know what you're talking about." Well, guess what? Here's Superman. You want to see the number directly from Warner Brothers? This is the up to the moment number from the actual studio that released the film. $606.7 million. Let's go look at F1. So, man, 607.1 million. That means we are taking the victory lap tonight on MMT, baby. We nailed it, and no one can compete with the gold standard that is MMT. I want a like. I want a sub. I want your unadulterated love. I really should have picked a more upbeat to celebrate this. It's just like a cool track from the F1 score from Zimmer. I should have picked the F1 theme song. I have been waiting, Johnny, for this. I'm not going to lie, but look, dude, how great is this? I am going to bask in this moment for as long as I need to here on this Thursday. We are going to talk about some other things here tonight. It's not just about F1 beating Superman, although we said it would. It's about a film that I really like that I just got out of called Lurker. It's from Mubi. Mubi continues to ascend to the top of indie cinema. They are releasing straight heat. They just don't miss. They're the new A24. We'll tell you why with Lurker here shortly. Also, we'll check in with Venice. The film festival there is underway. Bugonia and the new Baumbach film debuted there. We'll get the reactions. We'll check that on X. But I want to talk about why F1 beat Superman, okay? Obviously, you guys know this film didn't do the numbers here in the States that I hoped it would, okay? When you look here, again, directly from the Warner Brothers email, you're looking at 420.6 of the $607 million that came from overseas cash. So that means this film made here in the States about, 185 or so. 420! That's 2.5x on the international cash. But that's why I said it could do what it did here tonight. Because F1's a global sport that's way bigger overseas than it is here in the U.S. And that's why we are the winners. We are the victors here tonight, taking the victory lap. Not the fraud, Luis Fraudando. Not the box office guru. I got news for you. The box office guru is right fucking here, ladies and gentlemen. But this is why, right? It's not just about the international cash. It's about, look at this. Look at the Chinese cash. Look at the Korean cash. This is why this film ended up beating Superman. Because the Asian markets came in big. France was third. UK 4, Mexico at nearly 20, Australia, Taiwan, Asia, Germany, Japan, Asia, India, Spain, Saudi Arabia. This is why we have the result we have. Let's go look at the Superman email, and you can see where it faltered. Look, where's China? China's not even in the top 3. Back to F1, 59.4 from China. Go to Superman. Where's China? Holy shit, where is China? Oh my God, look, 8.9 million. The Chinese are over superheroes. At least James Gunn hellaciously overrated films. This film was bad. God, I hated Superman. It's not a good film. But you look, that's why. China didn't come through. Look, almost nothing came through because you look here, again, that domestic cash was the dominating factor here. The international cash, 258, the total 606. That means we are 350 on the domestic. So not a 1-to-1, whereas we saw F1 a 2.5x. This is why we are celebrating here tonight. Luis, F1 is the comeback of old school blockbuster cinema, and its success is rightfully deserved. It's the best film that was released this summer. No contest whatsoever. It is big scope, big screen entertainment that will not play the same at home as it did in IMAX, in any PLF format, hell, just a regular screen. But I saw that in Dolby. And that was really what an experience. And I know a lot of you saw this in IMAX because they brought it back out in IMAX just like a week ago, right? So that helped a little bit, but it's not over for F1. It's still making money overseas. Superman's done. So F1 is the very, very clear victor here tonight. And we are celebrating with the prognostication that we put out in late June. That makes us the gold standard. All right, let's do this. I was going to talk about Venice, but I really want to get to Lurker, which is a film I just got out of. So let's do the MMT evaluation of a film that I really want you to see. This is from Mubi. Mubi, of course, brought you The Substance. They brought you Decision to Leave. They are ascending on the quick. And tonight, they have delivered again with the mesmerizing, frightening Lurker. It is the MMT evaluation on this Thursday. Thanks for being here. Let's rock and roll. Here's a taste of Lurker.
So where did he find you at? A meet and greet or something?
No. He came into the store I work at. You make music?
Yeah, sometimes, bro. You should come to the show tonight.
Is this how you envisioned it?
This is the crib.
You should try to make yourself useful. Maybe you want to stick around.
You got a camera. You know how to press record.
What the? You're like my hero, man. You're always on Oliver's Instagram. Ollie, say hi.
Calling this man Ollie already? You sound like one of his bitches. You're like my best friend. I mean that.
Yo, get back. Bro.
It's a detail shot.
Walk back. Walk back. Farm boy, man.
Okay, we're going to pause right there. That gives you a great taste of this film, right? This kid here is the Lurker, hence the title, and he's a stan of the dude who's the big pop star. This film's very much like Hurry Up Tomorrow, a film that I loved from earlier this year. Now, the difference between Lurker and Hurry Up Tomorrow, they both have outstanding direction, okay? I'm going to get to that in a minute here on this film. But this film has a better screenplay. This screenplay is now. This screenplay speaks to what it is like to be in the spotlight and the social media craze and the obsessed fans and the dangers of letting someone into your inner circle without properly vetting them. And then the twists and the turns that come with that, as this nobody is suddenly ascended to this level of notoriety and internet fame because of his attachment to the pop singer. Okay? This is ripe for all kinds of exploration, and this film does it. And does it in a way that keeps you locked in and engaged throughout the entire hour and 40-minute runtime. And I mentioned Hurry Up Tomorrow, and again, like that film, you have direction here from a first-time director who I believe is one of the creators of Beef, that big show on Netflix. And this is the debut shot on film, and the edits, the look, the overall aesthetic, and the screenplay, all of this together create one of the best films of the year. But the sauce on top that puts it over is the dude you're looking at, Theodore Pellerin. Canadian actor, one of the first things I've ever seen him in. And this is a performance that is, without question, worthy of awards consideration. So when we get into the end of the year and everyone's talking about all these big names, and you have obviously Leo this year, you've got Daniel back, you've got a bunch of big thespians, do not forget about Theodore Pellerin. That's what you need to do as an awards voter. You've got to be able to drag some unexpected picks into the conversation. I love the music usage, not just because it's about a pop singer and his entourage and the obsessed stan, but it's also the way that you use the songs in certain scenes and then the edits out. You got to see it to know what I'm talking about, okay? This is, without question, a lights out debut from a directorial standpoint. Across the board, Mubi has done it again. This is one of the best films of 2025. Admittedly, a weak year, but even in a strong year, I'm going to highly recommend Lurker. MMT score tonight, 92%. When this comes to your town, get out and support it. It is platformed now, which means New York, LA, Chicago, and then they're going to slowly roll it out. It's not going to be everywhere, but due to the sound of this film and due to the aesthetic of this film, I suggest you see this theatrically when it is there, probably next week for a lot of you. Highly recommended here on MMT. Now, let's talk, as we mentioned, the award season is now officially underway. We're going to go check out Venice, and I am going to pull up the reactions to Bugonia. As you guys know, he's back. He doesn't even take a break at this point, right? Yorgos just makes a movie like every 6 months. Well, guess what? He's returned again here this year, and it is one of the two big films that debuted here today over at Venice in Italy. As you know, there are the film festivals in the fall that mark the start of award season. They are Venice, they are Telluride, and they are Toronto. Those three are the big ones. New York has one as well, but really, you talk about those three. If a film debuts at one of those three, then you're talking about something the studios believe will be a contender for awards and for Globes and for Oscars. So let's look at the reactions. Unfortunately, we do have to start, it looks like, with the biggest shill on the planet. He is Eric Davis, who works for Fandango, whose job it is to sell tickets for movies. I'll read it, but I'd take it with a grain of salt because this guy is not to be trusted. Yorgos Lanthimos' Bugonia is so good and probably his most accessible film yet. Top 3 Yorgos for me personally. It's a timely, high-energy kidnapping thriller full of dark, often hilarious eccentricity. Jesse and Emma are brilliant. Newcomer Aidan Delbis is the film's heart. Jack Waters, no idea who that is. He's a senior writer for Screen Rant. He's got 380 followers. Whatever. Begonia is a bold, beautiful story of humanity that uses its pitch black comedy to great effect, leaning on career best performance from Jesse Plemons, equally audacious turn from Emma Stone, takes a massive swing at the end, but the journey is worth it. She shaved her head. That's a massive swing, right? So those two, let's see. Jairo Jimenez. Who's this? No idea. 348 followers. Emma Stone is Michelle is extraordinary. She displays charismatic emotional dexterity, interweaving vulnerability with a firm corporate facade. This guy's writing for people that just that's not a human way to speak. This guy's writing for the chin-stroking knobs out there. Just talk. Just talk normally, okay? But yes, she shaved her head. She went full method here. And by the way, this is 3 for her, right, with Yorgos? If I am Emma Stone's husband, I'm going to be like, honey, why you keep working with Yorgos? It's a little bit weird. Can we pick a different director? Because you're making me uncomfortable. And there's a shot of the cast. We'll find out. I mean, if I hear accessible, that's good. It doesn't take much to be Yorgos' most accessible film. Although The Favorite, I would argue, is probably his most accessible film. I actually like Kinds of Kindness more than Poor Things. A lot of you enjoy The Lobster. I have my ups and downs with that film. But this is a film that Focus expects to have in the awards conversation. As we have seen, we saw with Poor Things, and not really so much with Kinds of Kindness. Now, one of the reasons Kinds of Kindness did not do the damage during award season is it wasn't as well received. I'll admit that. But it also came out earlier in the year. When films come out earlier in the year, you guys know we've talked about this how many times here on MMT. It's harder to get momentum and carry that through the entire award season and then into Oscar season because your film dropped so many months ago. It's always about what's now, recency bias. And that's why these festivals are so important at the end of the year, because you're talking about people knowing that we are ramping up into award season, and it's time to start looking at these things as possible contenders. Speaking of which, I very likely will have the opportunity to see PTA's One Battle After Another early. I know this is shocking to everyone within the sound of my voice. We will see if it actually happens. I have my concerns about the tone. That said, when it starts, you guys know I will let it all go and then evaluate the film as objectively and fearlessly as anyone in this space. No one can match it. It's the gold standard. Everyone else is a pretender. It's not even a competition. I don't need to say that every time, but I do just to remind you. Jay Kelly is the other big debut in Venice. It is Noah Baumbach. I love Noah. Go back to one of the films that I talk about that kind of started me on my journey right into indie cinema. It's Squid and the Whale, okay? I mean, what year was that? I want to say like early 2000s, late 90s. But I remember watching Squid and the Whale and just saying, I love, you know me, grounded films, character-based films. So when you talk about a Noah Baumbach and you talk about a Mistress America, for me, listen, if you're going to ask me what Baumbach film that I recommend you need to watch now, and a film that I go back to very often, it has flaws, but its heart is pure. Its energy is contagious. It is Mistress America. Has one of my favorite lines of all time in any film at the end of that film, where they talk about in feudal times, it was easier for people because they knew their place in life. One of the problems we have as humans these days is we're told we can be anything. So you struggle to find what is that thing. And maybe it's just better to know that you're going to be an X and you're never going to change being an X. Now, that's really cool to even conceptualize for me, right? When I hear stuff like that in film, this is why I come. To have my brain go, ooh, I like that. Let's think about that for a minute. And that's what Mistress America does, okay? Stuff like that. So Baumbach, I'm excited. Didn't even get around to White Noise. I heard it wasn't good. That's not what he does, right? He makes small, grounded films. That's what he does, okay? Usually set in New York or have something to do with New York, because obviously that's home base for him. And as you guys know, he does go out with Greta now. And Greta was in Frances Ha, which, yes, was Baumbach, and Mistress America, which was Baumbach. So you look at a film that I'm looking forward to, it's Jay Kelly. I'm looking for a reaction. Well, let's just go to Rotten Tomatoes. Let's just do that. Let's read some reviews. 82% is not that good. This ain't great. Let's hit it. 17 reviews. Stephanie Zakarik from Time. There's nothing overly dislikable about the film. There are a handful of scenes that are beautifully written, acted, and directed, but Jay Kelly feels more sentimental than truly thoughtful. Okay. Donald Clark, Irish Times. Clooney himself does well enough with double takes and raised eyebrows, but there is never any sense of stretching beyond his stock smoothie. Clooney plays himself. Everyone knows that. I've talked about that, right? Most actors play themselves. Clooney, maybe more than anybody else. That said, Michael Clayton, man. Hell yeah, Michael Clayton. Talk about a film. Damn, man. The end of that film, he's like, I'm not the guy you try to kill. I'm the guy you pay off. Oh, God, I love that movie. Michael Clayton's awesome, right? Okay, let's see what else we have here. We've got David Rooney, Hollywood Reporter. No amount of tender underscoring from the composer, Nicholas Britell, one of the best composers. I talk about composers all the time. I mentioned, obviously, you start with, Reznor Ross. And then you throw in, of course, no duh too, you throw in Ludwig Göransson. For me, Micah Levi. Nicholas Britell is one that you 100% should. Johnny Greenwood. Okay? When you start talking about scores, Britell's great. So that's exciting to know that he's doing this. Anyhow, the score can only make us feel so much for the sudden loneliness, since Clooney's natural charisma is like armor. It makes the movie toothless and insincere. Yeah, 5 out of 5 for the next one. Loud and clear reviews. Clooney, Crudup, Billy Crudup was in this, I assume. I didn't know that. Listen, guys, a lot of times now I just want to go to the movie. I don't even want to know anything about it, other than I know it's Baumbach. But it's best to almost know nothing. Because if I go in expecting X, Y, or Z, and even I go back to PTA, go back to One Battle After Another, that I'm going to see here in a few weeks, okay? We'll have an early review of that. I don't know, I think it's like a week. Okay, maybe. If I see it early review here. But here's the deal, is that I'm going to wipe it out. The slate's clean. I don't want to know much. I wish I didn't even see the trailer. Because even the trailer starts to form some kind of opinion about the movie. You guys seen? I know that. We watch trailers. Sunday night, we'll watch like 50 of them. I'm not going to do it tonight. We'll watch a bunch of trailers on Sunday. There's Bugonia. There's a whole bunch to get to. Let's just do that Sunday. Just stay in one groove. Tonight, talk about this. We'll go back to Venice and whatever else debuted, and also Telluride. There's a lot of stuff going on. This weekend's going to be very big. Sunday's going to be a crazy show. Probably go on for 2 hours. Tonight, not as much, but it's fine. I'm kind of tired. So it actually works out that we don't have as much. But you're starting to see a little bit of, I really liked it, and it's just okay or not that great. So that's a little bit concerning. But it is nice to see at least a couple of rotten reviews, because God knows I'm one of the only people who hammer films these days, right? I mean, the majority of critics are like, well, it wasn't really for me, but I still thought it had some redeeming values. I'm like, dude, just take out the hatchet and tear it up. Bro, hack it to pieces if it's bad. Why are you trying to be some kind of Sean Fennessy faux bitch? Yeah, I did it again. I couldn't stop it. He's a total wanker, that guy. What a clown. Sean the Fraud Fennessy, everybody. Welcome to the big show, big boy. Definitely not a big boy. If there's ever a soy boy critic, it is Sean Fennessy. The definition of soy boy critic. Other than our guy we dragged on Sunday, right? That guy who's like, remember we talked about that Sunday, the Disparado or whatever? Hey, look at the soy boys out there. And I look at his video, I'm like, what the fuck, bro? You're a soy boy. What the hell are you talking about other people's soy boys, bro? You got to hit the gym before you start talking like that, man. What the hell? I'll drag as many critics as I need to. And if I go to this critic screening, I hope I see them. I hope I see some of these people. Because the thing is I'm going to have a sense of decorum. I don't go around looking for trouble. But if they want to have trouble, I'm right there for you. I'm right there for you. So step up. I'm right there. I'm not going to cower. I'm not going to go sheepishly away. If you want to say something to me, walk right up and say it, you fellow critics. Go for it. I'll probably just poke you in your big fat fucking gut. That's probably what I'll do. Why don't you worry about this fat gut? Why don't you work on this? Because some of us have 6-packs. Where are the critics out there losing it? Oh, it's too bad. I got news for you. It's my channel. I'll do what I want. And if I want to call you Jabba the Hutt, I'll call you Jabba the Hutt. Thank you. Oh my lord. Since you're super concerned about One Battle, wait until you read about Fennel's next film. Oh, well, listen. I know. And she's making Wuthering Heights. Test screening details. Oh no. I don't want to know. I don't want to know until I see it. I don't want to see. Listen, the thing is like there's a lot of people that talk about test screenings early. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Because otherwise I'm going to be compromised. Okay? And I don't want that to happen. Back to Lurker, which I have no problem with. By the way, I have no problem doing a couple of comments here that are just like kind of random free flow stuff. I might watch one trailer tonight because I got so many to get to on Sunday. I'll pick one, and I think tonight's stream is going to be condensed. Because at the end of the day, I just got out of a movie. I want to go to bed. So I'm going to do this, and then we're going to call it a day. Lurker struck a nerve in reality with shady music scene dudes and the weaponization of Instagram. Top 5 film of the year, without question, Luis. And, you know, you really get the sense in Lurker of the social media addiction and being excited that someone is following you or liking your posts. And it's very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. I've been using less and less of X over the past several months, okay? I do get on, but I find that I have to tell myself, get off. Stop doing it. Wasting time, okay? I'm not going to get into it on Twitter/X about some movie with somebody. It's not going to happen. It's my stream. I'll do what I want to do. I can just do it here. to go back and forth with some of these people, like today I was saying F1 past Superman, and some rando was like, I'm looking at Box Office Mojo, and these are the numbers. Some of us get the emails from Warner Brothers, clown boy. So why are you coming into my mentions and trying to correct me on something I'm right about? Imagine being that fucking dumb and that arrogant where you're going to question my fucking sources, which is the studio, and you're gonna tell me, well, on Box Office they haven't updated the page, clown boy. Why are there so many people out there? I'm gonna destroy the film speed. I'm sorry, it's tonight. I'll do what I want to do. Why are there so many fucking weirdos in the film space? Why is it populated by people that are just freak shows? Can't we get normal people into the film space that aren't weirdos like the guy in Lurker? I feel like I'm watching a film Twitter person. Why can't we get normal people? Why is it like populated by people that are like so just strange, man? It's just a weird combination of just people that you don't want to be around. That's all. I've said it before. It makes it very hard to operate in the film space and talk about this stuff, but it's so off-putting, some of these people. You just look at them and you're like, oh my God, dude, you need to get a life. You don't have a life. You're like the guy in Lurker. Not you, Luis. I'm not Luis, you're cool as hell. I love talking to you outside AMC every time I see a movie. But there's lots that aren't like that. And I just can't anymore. It's weird, right? It's weird to operate in a space where you see the majority of people and you're like, I just don't want to be like part of this group. It can be challenging. Let's just put it like that. It can be very challenging. And it doesn't matter. The great part about AMC is I go into the movie and I leave. It's whenever I have to go to one of these screenings and I have to see these people. Like, dude, whoa, damn, man. I instantly feel like uncool being around you. I mean, it's not my main mission in life to feel cool all the time, but I feel like I have a little bit of a swagger. I got some things going for me, and I get around these people, and I'm like, ugh. It's like, you ever see, what was that old SNL skit with the girl came in, she's like, hi. Remember that? Remember what's her name? Michelle. What was the actress' name? She came in like, it's Pat, right? Like, that's the movie. That's film Twitter. Hi, I'm Pat. That is film Twitter in a snapshot. Hold on. Let's see if we can find that. Because I've already done what I need to do. I review what I need to do. We talked about what I want to do. Now I can hammer film Twitter as much as possible. You guys, I'll do what I want. Don't stop me. It's Pat. Here it is. Let's do it. You guys ready? There's the movie. Remember that? There was an It's Pat 2? No, there wasn't. There was not an It's Pat 2. Oh, my God. Hold on. Here we go. This is film Twitter. Here we go.
Happy birthday, dear Pat.
Playing the role of film Twitter is Pat.
Happy birthday to you.
Yeah,
Pat.
Make a wish, make a wish.
What a wonderful surprise.
A lot of people say, what's that?
Oh my God. You know what's awesome is that when I do this, I go on Twitter a lot of times and there's these random Pat kind of characters and it says, Pat blocked you. And I'm like, oh no. Funny thing is, though, I will admit I have a lot of people blocked because I read their takes. I'm like, you're dumb. I don't want to read this dumb shit anymore. Who listens to these dumb people? Why are people so dumb, man? Pat and dumb. It's a bad combination. All right, let's watch a quick trailer and we're getting out of here tonight. It's going to be just like that. It's how we're going to do it. If I can, I will never get through an entire stream without hammering fantasy, film Twitter, name someone. What should we watch? Let's watch Bugonia because we just read the reactions. So let's watch Bugonia. We've got to sit through a trailer for a movie that I've heard is actually pretty good. Hold on, let me hit this. It's a movie called Long Legs? Not Long Legs. That was the other one. It's something. Hold on. What's it called? Give me a second. It's coming up. Watch it. It's right here. Twinless. I knew, dude. For the record, okay. This is how the brain works, right? I knew it was a combo, 8 words, 8 letters, right? Long legs, twinless. That's how the brain works. See? I just a snapshot on how the brain works. All right, get ready. Here it is. This is the brand new Bugonia trailer, I believe, that dropped yesterday. Let's have a look here at Emma Stone working with Yorgos again. I want to ask Dave, her husband, what he thinks about that relationship, but let's watch the trailer.
Good morning, Corey.
Good morning, Michelle.
I believe every company should strive to form a diverse table, to empower people of different skills, and every time, what is it?
Skills and identities.
To foster a new generation of...
I already like this setting, right? She's this powerful media mogul kind of celebrity CEO thing. I'm into that.
Okay, let's go again.
They want you to think it's you.
And then the 2 losers. Okay.
That is.
By the way, Plemons has lost so much weight. Good Lord, man. Is he like anorexic?
You who made this world. But it's always been them.
I feel like it's too much. He's lost too much weight, right? He went too far.
All we've lost, all that's been done to us, we're setting that right again. Greetings. Welcome to the headquarters of the human resistance.
Again, you gotta love the commitment. I'm gonna shave my head.
Where's my hair?
Your hair has been destroyed to prevent you from contacting your ship.
You know what's weird? I'm gonna talk about this. I don't talk about it often, but it's something I see right in front of me right now. Why is it that so many actresses have their nose filed down to the smallest possible version of what was before? It's not just, dude, this is right in front of you. Emma Stone's nose keeps getting smaller, okay? We just saw the same thing happen with Mrs. Fantastic. We saw the girl from The Boys get a completely new face. It's always the nose. The nose gets shaved down to like a little tiny little fucking bump. Look how small it is. If I show you a picture of Emma Stone from 5 years ago, it's not even the same. I'll do it in a second. But why? Why are all these actors say, I've got to have the most minuscule schnoz possible?
What ship?
Your mothership?
Okay. In the next 48
So they think she's an alien. Okay, I can go with this.
hours, the police and the FBI will begin a statewide manhunt. I'm a high-profile female corporate executive. I am crucial. In all humility, I can say that. Think of it like you abducted the governor, but worse. There is no possible scenario.
And you're always going to get the cinematography and the overall aesthetic. You can see it here in this, every frame of this film.
Benefit from this incident.
That was really good. My pulse is racing right now. I've done a ton of research on this. You're killing our planet.
Alien fellas.
I'm not an alien.
You're lying to me.
What's the difference? You know this is crazy. You know this is wrong.
I know who you
It looks like it might go too far. Well, you know it's Yorgos. Of course it's going to go too far.
are. I know what you are.
I know you too, Teddy.
It's fine. It's cool.
Okay, I mean, I'm not going to watch the final thing because it'll be something that's cool from the film. We'll stop. I am a fan of Kinds of Kindness. But one of the reasons I like films like Kinds of Kindness and French Dispatch, okay, let me weave those two together. Why do I like? Because they're anthologies. You have more than one story. And that is beneficial if you don't like what you're in at the moment. Wait for the next one. When you're stuck in one story, there's no pulling the ripcord. You're stuck. So we'll see what happens with Bugonia. but looks a lot more watchable than Poor Things. Ah, God, Poor Things. What a horrible film. Go back and watch my reaction from that. It's on the YouTube channel, Midnight Movie Talk. You can find it. All right, let's do open comments here on this Thursday, and I'll get out of here and then be ready for Sunday. I got to save a little bit of energy. Let's do the comment blast closeout. Let me hit this. I'll hit that. And we do that, and I'll pull up tonight's F1 sound, the Zimmer score again. Here we go. Boom, there it is. All right, I'll hit as many comments as I can. If I missed anything along the way, I'll try to get to it. If not, it's all good. We'll make it short and sweet. Hey, listen, we're back on Sunday for sure with a bunch of trailers, more reactions from Venice, and we will find out what is going on in the film world on Sunday. Whatever's up, we'll just pop it up. Room was fairly crowded when I went to see F1 last night, last day of the local IMAX screen. People who are waiting for it on streaming will not know how much bass they're missing. Well, it's unfortunate. The people who are waiting at home, the reason you go to the movie theater is F1. You know, that's why you don't watch F1 at home. Even on a big TV, unless your speakers have to be like Dolby 5.1, and you got to live in a house so you can crank it as loud as possible, you know, piss off the neighbors. You know, you've got to really have a great setup. And if you don't have a setup that's anywhere near that, it's just not going to be the same. It's not, okay? So that's why you go to the movie theater. Now, we talked about it last Sunday. Unfortunately, there are people to go to the movies and they decide they want to punch you because you told them to shut up. That's a problem. We go back and watch the Sunday stream. There's no question there's people that have very few and very little manners when they go into the movie theater. And luckily, again, tonight when I saw Lurker, it was like 5-10 people in there max, and it was very chill. Like single. Listen, the nice part about going to the movies by yourself is other people do the same thing, and they don't talk because they're by themselves. The only thing they're going to be guilty of doing is getting their phone out. They're usually not talking to themselves unless they're insane, and there's a lot of insane people on the streets of LA, but luckily not in AMC. So that's why it's nice to go when there is not a lot of people at the movie theater. I will agree with that. Relay review. I'm going to try to get to it, but truthfully, you've got a bunch of new things that kind of just bury it. It pushes it down. Didn't do well at the box office. Eden didn't do well. I mean, I can only watch so many movies. So I need to see Toxic Avenger for Sunday. I might see the other one with Dakota Johnson. So that's two. I don't think I can get to Eden. Not right now, and probably not either for Relay. I'm sure I might like it. It's just, unfortunately, the hard part is you sometimes have to pick, because I don't want to watch every movie, okay? There's no benefit to me watching every single movie. I want to see a movie. And Relay just wasn't something. It looked very much like The Amateur. I did not enjoy sitting through The Amateur. You got to remember, guys, I want to watch films like Lurker. I want to watch films like Tar. I want to watch films like Aftersun, like Decision to Leave. And then I have to work in the big films, right? The Fantastic Fours and the Supermans. F1, obviously, a film I really like. But you have to watch those because that's what people want to talk about. And then what I really want to talk about, though, is Lurker. And so a movie like, you know, Relay and Eden, they just get stuck. And unless it works where there's nothing else, the problem is now there's a bunch of these smaller films hitting on one weekend, and I can only see like two, right? Because there's usually a big film, and then I try to see one other. I only want to see one movie every like 2 days. I don't like to go to the movie theater every day. It's not good. Like Lurker was perfect. I don't want to see another movie tomorrow. I want to take a break. I'll go Saturday to see maybe Toxic Avenger or the other one. It just doesn't matter at this point. For me, it's all about, do I want to see the movie? I'm not going to sit through, watch it all eat. Listen, not from a directorial standpoint, it's not. No way. From a directorial standpoint, Hurry Up Tomorrow is one of the best directed films of the year. Right? The technical, the aesthetic, it's just, just straight heat. Okay, so yeah, without question. Now, as a script, I will agree with you. Not a great script. That's why Lurker gives you a good script, okay, and then gives you the same kind of ideas of obsessed fans, but does it more interestingly. And I think I even like the ending a lot. I mean, it's a very good film. Lurker is one of the best films of the year. I know Luis said it as well. And Chris Gore didn't like Relay. Well, hey, listen, if Gore didn't like a film, that means it's really bad, because he's one of the worst critics in the space. I wouldn't even call him a film critic. I'd call him a drunk. I would call him a fraud. I would call him a wannabe. It's that simple. And that's bad, man. No one's ever called me a wannabe. I mean, because I'm not. I'll do my own thing. I never have made a video or started a stream saying I've got to get views. I don't even understand the mindset. It's very weird to me to even have that approach, because ultimately you either like it or you don't. And it's my thing. When I created this channel, it's my thing. I'll do what I want with it. If I want to bash film Twitter, I'll bash film Twitter. If I want to hammer fantasy, I'll hammer fantasy. If I want to talk about a movie, I'll talk about a movie. I'll do what I want to do. I don't have to hit these parameters. If I want to talk about Planet X, about the Argentinian dragon, Antarctican dragon. Antarctican, I like that. I'll do what I want. This is my show, my thing. And so I'm not going to worry about likes and views or subs. I don't give a fuck if there's 0 people watching right now. It doesn't register to me. And that's how you have to proceed in life. That's how I'll end it here tonight. Thanks for being here on this Thursday. We're back on Sunday. Peace out. Enjoy your weekend.